If you're running your own private dermatology practice, you've probably discovered that there's so many things that you need to be an expert in that you didn't go to school for. Things like advertising, marketing, accounting, legal, billing and coding. All of these things are foundational to the success of your practice. But because you haven't been directly trained on those things, you're going to need some help by working with a team. We're going to go through how we work with the team in all those key areas, and we believe that it'll help you in your private practice as well. Let's get started. This is not a complete list. I'm sure there will be more things, but here are 5 key areas that I believe that are primary, that are so important to working with your private practice that you must have some kind of expert working with you or working in your company. And those 5 areas are marketing, advertising, billing and coding, EHR, accounting, and legal. And I think this is something that's very important. All of the experts that you're working with, you have to have a key purpose for them. You have to have a set goal on what you want them to accomplish, or they could potentially waste your time and waste your money. So I'm going to go over how we found our experts in each of these key areas and how we work with them to ensure that we're getting the best possible result for our private practice. Let's start off with marketing, advertising, and tech. Now, our number one goal is one, to ensure that all of our providers have a full schedule. That is our ultimate goal. Sometimes we'll also tap him to help us out with specific promotions, whether we're doing a product sale or some kind of cosmetic promotion. But overall, his number one goal is to ensure that our schedule is full for each one of our individual providers. Now, full means something different depending upon what kind of day it is. If it's a Mo's day, if it's a Gen Derm day, if it's a newer provider, if it's a provider with a little bit more experience. But his goal is to make sure that those numbers are on point each week. Because nowadays the majority of marketing is going to be on social media, it's going to be on Google. It already has kind of a tech component, and so I suggest that whomever you're working with in the marketing and advertising space, they're very, very comfortable and familiar with technology. Now, I am not a technology guru or a marketing guru, and so I wanted to find somebody who specialized in that area. We've actually were able to find a fractional CTO, somebody who works with us part time. They have another full time job, but they consult with us, and I meet with them weekly to go over our marketing game plans, our advertising game plans, and how we're leveraging technology. And so when we meet each week, we go over the schedule for the last week. And if there is a specific day that those numbers aren't hit, we have a conversation about that. We set a game plan and we reset for the next week. And so the idea is that I don't know exactly what the text should be in the Facebook post when we're boosting it, or the Google AdWords, or all of those different things. I'm not sure. I don't know how to implement a text campaign or an email campaign. He knows how to do all of that. But I know what our ultimate goal is, where we want to get to. And so I may not know how to get there, but I know where we're going. And so my job is to give him direction on where we're going. And it's his job to collaborate with me so we can figure out the best way to get there. And so again, I'm meeting with my marketing advertising tech person every 7 days so we can make sure that we're on point in regards to the scheduling numbers that we want to be. The second expert that I meet with on a consistent basis is our billing and coding department. Now, what's the purpose? The overall goal for him is we want to make sure that our net collections is 95% or higher, and that our gross collections is 40% or higher. We use an outside billing company, and we meet with him on a monthly basis. Once a month, we sit down and we go over the numbers to make sure that we're on point. Now, where did I get those numbers from? Well, we actually hired an outside consulting company, and they showed us, they said, these are the benchmarks that, you want to be at 95% net, 40+% gross. And so now we kind of hold our billing company to that standard. And so we're meeting every month. We're going over what are the rejected claims, what are the denied claims. is there some common mistakes that we're making inside the clinic? Maybe we're taking pictures of insurance cards, but not putting the numbers in. Maybe we put the numbers in incorrectly. Maybe we're not making sure that we're verifying insurances before we're checking patients in. Whatever the case may be, I look for my consultants to give me feedback that I can now bring to the team if necessary so we can improve upon. So we're meeting monthly and we're going over those two numbers: net collections, gross collections. We want our net collections to be 95% or above. We want our gross collections to be 40% or above. And if they're not, then we're looking to see what areas that we can improve upon specifically in the rejected and denied claims to ensure that our collections rates are where they should be. Support for the Dermbiz show comes from EasyDerm. If you're a dermatologist or part of a dermatology practice, you know how critical it is to have tools that make your workflow seamless. EasyDerm is revolutionizing dermatology with its intuitive EHR solutions, designed specifically to simplify your practice operations and give you more time to focus on patient care. Their system isn't just easy to use, it's built with dermatologists in mind, making it the perfect choice for practices looking to streamline and grow. Want to learn more? Head over to easyderm.com to see how they can help you elevate your practice to the next level. And here's a little insider tip. Tell them the Dermbiz show sent you. Also, before we jump back in, here's a quick reminder to make sure you're connected with us on all of our other social media platforms. We share other content on those platforms that's going to help you grow and build your private practice. We believe that we need more doctors in leadership positions in private practice ownership, and we believe that our content is going to help you get to where you need to go. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe on all those platforms. All right, thanks for listening, and another big shout out to EasyDerm. Now let's get back to the show. Next is our EHR. With EasyDerm, we have a specific contact person with our EHR. This is one thing I love about EasyDerm. We've been with them for 8 years now, and we've only had 2 contact people. One for about 4 or 5 years, and then he got promoted, went to another company, and now we have a different person. And that makes it very simple. And so now it gives us the opportunity to build a relationship with somebody who can understand our practice, who can get our questions answered. Now, I don't meet with our EHR person on a regular basis. It's kind of as needed. We definitely do a yearly refresh when it's macro MIP season. Right now, we're in the Q4 of 2025, so it is macro MIP season. I always have a meeting or conversations with her around that time just to ensure that we're on point with everything that we need to do from a regulatory standpoint and reporting. But every now and again, I'll meet with her just to get a refresh on any updates on the software or any new features that have come out that we could be using to improve our private practice. And so, again, this is not somebody who we meet with on a regular basis, but just as needed and definitely yearly during the macro MIP season. The fourth area is accounting. Definitely once a quarter we meet just to ensure that we're on pace with our tax payments, and to make sure that we're accurately documenting everything from a bookkeeping standpoint. Again, this is another thing that's as needed as well. I do the bookkeeping for our private practice, and so I make sure that if I have a question about how to categorize something, I'll reach out to our accountant, and they're pretty good about getting back to me, but definitely once a quarter. So again, this is not somebody who we meet with regularly, but we do meet as needed, definitely once a quarter to make sure that we're on point with everything. And last but not least is our lawyer. We're meeting with our lawyer as needed, probably more of a quarterly or biannually type of basis. Obviously, if we have new contracts that we're creating for some of our employees or some of our vendors or partners that we're working with, we'll have the lawyer review our contract if necessary. They're not necessarily somebody that we're meeting with very regularly. Also, keep in mind, if you're meeting with your lawyer, it is expensive, right? And so you're paying that hourly wage. This is how we leverage the experts in our individual practice. I know that I'm never going to be an expert in legal and accounting, in EHR, in advertising or marketing. I know I'm never going to be an expert in billing and coding, but by working with experts, we can get the best out of what they know while also making sure that we're applying that information to our private practice. Also, one key tip that we found is that I try to make sure that our experts become my teachers. And so whenever I'm talking to the experts, I'm talking to somebody about billing and coding, I'm talking to our accountant, I'm talking to our lawyer, I'm asking a ton of questions, right? I want to dig in to make sure that I am learning from my experience with them and my time with them, right? Because these people aren't cheap. You know, the EHR that we use for Easy Derm is not cheap. Our accountant is not cheap. Our lawyer is not cheap. By the way, I would suggest that you don't go the cheap route when you're working with your experts. Anybody who we work with in these individual areas, we make sure that we pay them adequately. But we're paying them adequately because not only are they helping get the job done in their specific area, but they're also upskilling me as I'm talking to them. I feel like it's a little bit of a coach or a teacher who's improving my skill set as an overall general manager. And so I hope this video helped you out. I hope you see ways that you can make sure that you're leveraging your experts in the individual areas of your business, in the individual areas of your dermatology private practice. I'm sure that I may have missed a few areas, but these are the core areas in our private practice where I consistently consult experts to make sure that we are using the people with the most brain power in a specific area so our patients can thrive and our overall practice can thrive. I hope this video was beneficial to you, and we look forward to seeing you on the next video. That's a wrap for this episode of the Dermbiz Show. We hope you found today's discussion insightful and packed with value to help you navigate the challenges of running your private practice. We'd love to hear from you. Is there a specific topic you'd like us to cover or a question you want answered? Reach out to us at thedermbiz@gmail.com or drop us a message on social media. Your input helps us tailor the show to what matters most to you and your practice. Speaking of social media, don't forget to follow us on all of our platforms for updates, bonus content, and tips to keep your practice running smoothly. And of course, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode. Thanks for tuning in today, and we can't wait to have you join us again the next time. Until then, take care, keep thriving, and we'll see you the next time on the Dermbiz Show.